Alright, welcome to the garage. First status update, always wear a respirator. That's not supposed to be yellow. So in the truck bed we have both inner fenders. We have the passenger side fender. We have the cowl panel and a bunch of the little things. Everything in here is pretty good. I'm even going to show you there with the sun. There's been no wet sanding. And I know I can do better, but I'm pretty happy with that level of sheen for just an as sprayed base coat. I think I can make a lot out of that. So here on the rack, we have a door that is clearly not yellow. There is a spot, or was a spot, which I addressed. It's hard to see down here, and I got down to bare metal just in a little bit, and I know I need to put epoxy on that. So that's going to get addressed soon. Here's another door, and I'm getting crowded in here because there's not enough room in the world. But if I get to a point where you can see the reflection, again, this is simply as sprayed. There's been no wet sanding, and I am fairly happy with that also. Yeah, so that's pretty good. And it's pretty straight all the way down. Looks pretty good. And for those who are just coming in, who may not have seen this whole thing, there were like 7 holes in both of these doors. The bottoms of both the doors were gone, right? On both sides. This was gone. Front cup was gone. Front of both of those was gone. Those actually are replacements, to be fair. The cowl had the hole for the CB radio and some other stuff going on. There's been a lot of work, and it's pretty, oh my goodness, I can't fit. Pretty good work here, I think. Here's where the first problems are. You can see the runs. I did like a pass and a half on this guy. It was just too much. I should have stopped after a pass. But really, those runs should sand out in no time. That's all the problem on this fender here. Okay, now I'll get to the cab. And the cab is definitely yellow. And this is the good part. As for those, again, who didn't see it happening in real time, everything here was replaced. I had to cut the whole roof skin off, and that's a welded seam. GM has like a seam sealer issue going on there. And there used to be a drip rail here. It was about that big. It went all the way up. So that's all gone. And of course, again, for those who've seen this for a while, it's all recap. But I had cut all this. I had made a cut this way, and then all down here, all down there. And I had put a drill bit in between the door and the cab to space that correctly, and then re-welded it. So I think I'm happy with how that came out. If I may be maybe not the fairest critic here, but anyway, the inside's yellow, and that's yellow, and that's all fine. I don't mind this at all. Where I mentioned seam sealer, we have to do some in here, and that's gonna have to be done in here. A little seam sealer there, along there. And that's not going to be covered with anything. There might be carpet on the back. Maybe not. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Anyway, that's good. The hood, as you can plainly see, is not done. I ran out of time. And don't worry, I know it's silly, but we're going to get there as to why. Now, as for the big problem, okay, so granted, there's a windshield gasket on some of this, so it's not so bad. But there used to be a drip rail there, and all the way around the roof actually would come out here and then kind of come back in. It was super ugly. So I got rid of that, and it's nice. You see that line? It's all me. It's all welding. But if I if I pan over, you can see right there it goes kind of. And I'll show you from the front. I don't think I can let that stand. But we're going to have to take a walk because it's really, really crowded in my garage. Like, there's no room to do anything. This is stupid. If you're ever going to do this, get 3 more garages. Oh my goodness. I can't even get out of the garage. Oh, okay, here we are. You can see that little lazy eye. I'm going to call it lazy eye. Just right there. Oh, it's focusing on my finger. So that's going to be a problem. I think I need to fix that. On the bright side, my kid, if you recall, did all the welding on the hood. This was the hood stopped there from GM. So that whole surface there was welded by a now 15-year-old, 16-year-old. And it looks just perfect. I'm very happy with how that came out. So that part's good. The tailgate's down there. I hate to beat this guy, but it's a truck. I don't really care about the tailgate too much. It's going to get beat up. But it looks fine on the outside. The inside looks like a tailgate. So anyway, that's where it is. The bed obviously needs paint. My compressor is awesome now. Check that out. Keeping up very nicely. I didn't talk about this too much, but I bought this giant block, 30 inches. It's made for boat guys, and I thought it would be really handy on some of the block sanding before the paint came on. But it's really hard to use. It gets this kind of stuff going on a lot. This sort of buildup, and it gets all crinkly and nasty. And I had to kind of give up. For the finer grits, it didn't really work that well. So, sort of disappointing there. But anyway, that's the status of things. You know, a long way to go, but lots got done.